Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, why a federal appeals court ruled against President Obama's latest executive order on immigration. Also tonight, a look at the increasing problem of student debt. And Phoenix is honored for using technology to engage residents. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit has upheld a lower court injunction that blocks the Obama administration from implementing the president's deferred deportation plan, which protects up to 5 million undocumented immigrants. Here to explain why the three-judge panel decided to block the program is ASU law professor Evelyn Cruz. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals made this decision. First of all, give us a better definition of what exactly they blocked and why.
Well, basically, in last November, the administration issued a memorandum saying that they had a parameters of providing for the parents of children born in the United States to provide them with no removal process and issue them work authorizations as part of their administration of the immigration laws. They set priorities, and so they have decided that this group would be evaluated for protection from being deported.
So they set the parameters for this particular deportation process, and 26 states, I believe, sued.
Correct. They filed suit in the southern part of Texas, and the judge was asked to decide whether they had standing to sue and whether or not the administration had overstepped its powers given to it through the INA, which is the Immigration Act.
So the Texas federal judge said, yes, you have standing, and yes, the president overstepped. Goes to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. 2-1 vote, they agreed, huh?
Correct. They pretty much, the majority echoed the decision of the lower court, indicating that in their belief, the states had standing to sue because they were going to face a lot of mounting costs from assisting individuals who now would be eligible for other benefits or state benefits simply because they now had work authorization. In addition, they found that the APA, the Administrative Procedures Act, had been violated in that this should not have been done through a memo. Instead, the administration should have issued regulations and had asked for comments on those regulations, which is required for any administrative process.
So when the court says, and now a judge and the circuit court, when they say that the Obama administration overstepped its bounds, is it not so much that the administration said these folks, the deportation is delayed, but the process in getting to that decision?
It's twofold. To some extent, they are saying that the president may have overstepped his authority under the administration of the immigration statutes, but their more solid ground is that that he violated the Procedures Act.
And it sounds like the Fifth Circuit Court also found that Texas federal judge did not abuse discretion in making this a nationwide ban. That's part of the standing situation?
Yes, that's a standing situation. So it's actually a twofold question. One is whether or not this affects other states similarly situated to the 23 that sued, and the judge found that it was. It was a cross fabric of the nation, basically. And the second thing is that it felt that they had shown harm in the administration of this process, and therefore they were entitled to bring their grievances to court.
Obama administration basically said it was within the administration's rights to defer deportation of some. Did that not hold up? Or again, have we just not even hit that part of the argument yet?
To some extent, the argument is that under the INA, the Attorney General is given discretion by the Congress to administer the immigration process and to make the decisions as to whether or not they will process certain individuals or not. The problem in this case is that the administration said we are not going to go after X type of person, but each individual will be evaluated. The court is not buying the argument. They're saying, no, you're going to basically rubber stamp anyone who fits under these general parameters, and therefore you're not doing an evaluation as you're supposed to do under the Immigration Act.
Interesting. And a 2-1 vote we mentioned earlier, the lone dissenter called this, quote, the quintessential exercise of prosecutorial discretion, which does make you wonder, if this is not prosecutorial discretion, what is?
Right. I mean, to some extent, there's the loan descendants saying, look, the administration lays out the parameters, but it doesn't say everyone will automatically come in and get a work authorization. There's a process in place by which each individual has to apply, has to prove that they have the elements required to obtain that. And in part of it is evaluating whether it is in the best interest of the United States not to deport that individual.
When you talked about states having standing, I thought there was some part of the argument that it wasn't the court's place to be concerned as to how the executive order would impact states. That's the law itself, how it would impact states. They were basically saying it's not our part. If Congress wants to change the law, Congress can change the law, but don't come to us for it. Is that basically what they
The dissent is pretty clear that he feels that the court is meddling in a question of whether or not there is a proper reading of the statute, and that Congress should be the one who decides whether or not the statute is properly done. There is a standing question because the fact of the matter is that normally states do not have the power to challenge the situation unless they are going to what they call a quasi-sovereign interest in the case. And the dissent makes a point that the majority is relying on a case where the state of Massachusetts had challenged the APA, and the Supreme Court said you have standing because you were going to be individually harmed. However, that statute in question included a provision for the states to have power to sue.
Interesting.
So I think if this does end up in the Supreme Court, standing is one of the Supreme Court's favorite subjects, and so more likely than not, we'll address it.
Will it end up in the Supreme Court?
It's a question that it depends on the court and where they want to go with it. It will not be the first time that they're looking at a case which is not completely decided below. But given that we have 23 states involved, given that it involves the presidential powers and administration of the Immigration Act, it might wet their palate and decide that they want to take it.
But would it have to go back to the Texas federal court first to get a final word on this and then go to the Supreme Court, or can the administration go directly to the high court?
It seems that it has to be sent back for it to be acknowledged, just like we did in Arizona v. U.S. And then from that, the government can petition to the Supreme Court to review.
Last question. Were you surprised that the Fifth Circuit decided what it did?
Well, I was somewhat surprised because just in February, another panel had decided that there was no standing to challenge, the states do not have a standing to challenge the DACA program. On the basic idea that there were not damages. And so it just is a selection sometimes of what panel you get. There might be an en banc request, but most likely they would avoid, which is meaning bringing it to the entire Fifth Circuit.
They would just rather go to the Supreme Court and get it over with.
Most likely, but because you also have that case from February, that gives more reason for the Supreme Court to perhaps examine it.
Interesting. Good stuff. Evelyn, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Student debt is becoming an increasing concern, so much so that the National Education Association's Degrees Not Debt campaign and ASU Young Democrats hosted a State of the Student Debt Crisis event at ASU's Tempe campus. Here with more is Amber Gould, the National Education Association Director of Arizona, and Rebecca Hamilton, President of the Arizona Education Association Student Program at ASU. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
What is Degrees Not Debt?
Well, Degrees Not Debt is a national campaign that the National Education Association has been pursuing, and basically it's to raise awareness on making college affordable for our students.
And as far as how many students are impacted by student debt, what are you seeing out there?
Well, I do not know the exact number, but I know that right now student debt is at 1.2 trillion, which is more than the national credit card average. So this is impacting students right now. This is impacting students who've already graduated and impacting those that are going into college.
How is it impacting students at ASU?
I believe that it's impacting students at ASU because we all generally have to take out student loans, and a lot of us that do internships, full-time internships, we have to take them out to live because our needs have to be met, so that way we can be successful in school.
And talk to us about your story now. I mean, is this your situation as well?
Yes, so I have quite a bit of student loan debt, and it will be my shadow for the rest of my life. I have had to take out student loans because financial aid thinks my parents make too much money, and they haven't made that money, you know, my whole life, and I just was kind of in the unfortunate bubble where I had to take out a lot, especially going out of state.
Impact on the economy of student debt. I mean, obviously young people, if they have so much debt, they can't really jump into the economy with both feet, can they?
No, they cannot. And I look at it, I mean, I'm a fifth-year teacher right now. It wasn't that long ago I was at ASU myself, and I'm looking at my students in my English classroom today, and I'm looking at the list that I have on my desk of students that are asking me to write them letters of recommendation for scholarships, because they know right now that if they don't apply for scholarships, if they don't apply for financial aid, college is not an option for them. They can't afford it. And I mean, these are high school juniors and seniors that are looking into this. And then I have, you know, empty space on that list because I have students that think that they're not getting into college because they don't think they can afford it. So these are kids that they're already done before they've even begun the process, and that's not acceptable.
What is acceptable in terms of finding a solution to this problem? From where you sit, what would you like to see?
I would like to see students start being informed on different ways to get these scholarships, get these Pell Grants and everything like that. I just think, and especially even after taking out the loans, students need to start being educated on how to, all of the different repayment programs after, and how to get loans forgiven and just make it more affordable for everyone.
The concept of decreasing some of these loans, refinancing some of these loans, how much is that discussed? How much is that a possibility?
Well, I think it depends on what our representatives up in Washington decide to do. I know there's a lot going on with the Flexible Pell Grant for 21st Century Students Act, where we're looking at making Pell Grants available in the summer as well. I know that a lot of students at ASU, sometimes their classes are not always offered during the fall and spring semesters when these grants are available. And so this opens up an opportunity not only for them to take summer courses, but maybe to get through college early and go into the workforce early and actually contribute to the economy in that way.
What about enhancing like federal loan forgiveness and those sorts of programs, those sorts of ideas? Your thoughts?
Well, I think there are definite programs that would benefit from student loan forgiveness, especially when we look at a field like education. I know so many educators that, you know, they are still paying off student loans year after year. My mom is a teacher, and she is still paying off her student loans from when she went to NAU. And these are the things that educators are facing. We're having trouble being able to afford to teach.
I hear some critics, though, say that tuition has basically skyrocketed due to increased aid. Is that a viable argument, you think?
Well, from my perspective, it's not. When I went into ASU, I had scholarships to me, but as the years went on, tuition still went up and fees went up, and being able to live and those fees went up. So by the time I was done, even though I had scholarships, I exited with my degree looking at a little over $18,000 worth of student loans, to which I'm still paying off today.
And others will look at the situation and they say that, you know, a loan is a contract and a contract is a contract. And for those who take out loans, they need to be repaid. Forget about, you know, some sort of assistance, streamlining, forgiveness, and these sorts of things. How do you respond to that?
I don't really know how I would respond to that, because it worries me, because I'm spending so much to go to school so I can be a teacher and push my kids to solve the problems of tomorrow. And how am I supposed to get them to go to college if they're not going to be able to afford it? And how is anybody in the education college, for example, supposed to get our kids to get out there when they won't be able to afford it?
And again, what are you hearing from fellow students out there regarding their situation? Pretty much the same boat?
Yeah, everyone's got student debt.
And everyone's got student debt. It sounds like if it's $1 trillion or so around the country, it's not just at ASU, it's everywhere.
Oh, it's absolutely everywhere. I believe what I read earlier was that 2 out of 3 students attending college have to take out student loans. And I know a lot of those students are coming out of my classrooms and the classrooms in this state. So as these current seniors are looking into colleges and they're looking into scholarships, they are also being prepared to take out loans.
But as far as the forgiveness aspect, last question here, as far as the forgiveness, for teachers, and not just tenured teachers, but all teachers, if there were some sort of program to ease the load if you went into these positions, does that make sense?
No, I think it absolutely does. And I think the more that, you know, programs like going into education become more affordable, the more likely it is that we're going to be drawing in the best and brightest. Our best and brightest don't necessarily want to go into a field that they're going to be making peanuts for the rest of their lives. And so by making at least this effort, I think it's going to open the doors for a lot of people that may not have considered going into the teaching field.
Last question for you. Would you have made this decision originally knowing what kind of debt you racked up?
No.
No, you would have changed your decision.
Well, I would have stayed in Texas, and I would have just stayed with in-state tuition if I would have known that I would be graduating with this behind me.
Interesting. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Tonight's edition of Arizona Technology and Innovation looks at why Phoenix was recently honored as a technology leader for using digital solutions to improve citizen engagement, especially regarding municipal transportation. Joining us now is Maria Hyatt, Public Transit Director for the City of Phoenix. Welcome to Arizona Horizon.
Thank you.
Recognized as a first of all, EDOT Republic Center for Digital Government. Who are these folks?
These folks really look at all of the cities to see how they are improving their digital impact on their communities. And so they've been doing this for a number of years, and in fact this is the second year that Phoenix has placed in the top 10.
I was going to say you were top 3 this time, second straight year in the top 10. You're doing something right out there. What are they looking at?
We sure are trying. Things are changing, Ted. I have 2 millennials at home. And you know, when we talk about the traditional ways that we reach out to our citizens, to our community, those ways are not working any longer. And so we really need to think differently. So, you know, for instance, I'm in transportation. So when we go out and we talk about a transit project, we have a public meeting and we invite everybody and we get their input. Well, my to millennials are never going to go to a public meeting. They look at me like, why would you do that? Why can't I just send in my information online? And so really this is trying to take advantage of that.
And talk to us then how the city did develop their transportation plan, which we talked a lot about on the show here, but how online public tools kind of help with resident input on the plan.
So it's providing another option for our community members so that we don't lose out on that discussion that they provide to us. So we developed TalkTransportation.org as part of our as our Proposition 104 public outreach. And it was another way to not only grab information from our community members, but allowed them an opportunity to give us back input. What did they want to see? How did they want to see it? Where did they want to see it? And then we could create surveys, get more information from others. In fact, we had more than 3,700 people who helped us provide information on this through TalkTransportation.org.
And it sounds as though the website had surveys, as you mentioned, poll maps, the whole 9 yards.
And people could pin. So if they said, hey, I really think we should connect this location over here, that information was then captured and provided back to us.
I know that the honor also noted an expanded library, tech resources, and procurement processes for city purchases. Talk to us about that.
So, we have, how many people have e-readers? And so another thing that was the great thing for the library is that they now have a digital branch. Instead of you having to go physically to a library branch, you now have a digital branch. So you can check out books on your e-readers. And we know that this is really another way that people are going. It's a way that kids are getting their information too. And so we're just continuing to try and meet what our community wants.
And as far as the procurement process for city purchases, that again all through what? Are you using a cloud for this, or how's it working?
We're actually using competition, so better competition, which will save the city of Phoenix money over the long run by allowing different vendors to bid on our projects, on our things that we need to buy. So we're getting the best deal. It kind of makes no sense. It's the way we've been doing things in the past.
The city, I know that the court users, there's a web-based payment plan for court users out there as well, the open data program, all of these things were mentioned now by this group in honoring Phoenix. So something's going on. Talk to us about these.
So another thing that we did was, we don't know everything. I'd like to think that I do, but we don't know everything. So we had a technology summit back in November of 2014 where we invited in the private sector to come in and tell us, small businesses, large businesses, come in, tell us what innovative ideas that they had, how they could get better information from us. And so we've been able to use that. For instance, we now have open data. I know a lot of cities have open data, but on my side, what that's done is that we now have real-time data on when your bus is going to come, when the next train is going to come. That information is provided out there to app developers who can then pull that information, create an app for our passengers to be able to call from. And that's really what it's about, is trying to find out what are the best ways to get digital information out to the private sector so that they can spend the money doing what we would have had to have done before through our public outreach.
Is there a threat, though, that all this technology, all this innovation, apps here, tablets there, may leave some folks who aren't so tech savvy? Either they're stuck in their old ways, or they may not have the resources to get the equipment needed, that they may be left behind.
Oh, believe me, we're not going away from the old way, too. So we still do our normal. You can still visit a library and visit them physically. You can still go, and we'll have our public meetings where we invite people in. We still take phone calls. So we're not trying to take that away. What we're really trying to do is make sure that we're broadening so that we can capture as much input and provide as many services to the community versus narrowing it down.
And as we mentioned, ranked third among cities over 250,000, second straight year for Phoenix in the top 10. So what happens next year? What are you guys working on? What's the plan? What's on the wish list?
Each one of the departments in the city, we really look at ways that we can be more transparent. So I think what you'll see is a continued increase in transparency to our community. They want to know what we're doing. They give us, taxpayer money. They pay for services. They want to make sure that they're getting their services back. So I know that's one of the things you'll see on my side for the Proposition 104 is being transparent back. here's the money that we said, here's the projects we said we were going to do, here's how we're doing it, so that you can make sure that we're doing what we said we would do.
And if I'm stuck at a transit stop and no one showed up for the past half hour, I have a way to go and say, hey, let's fix this.
You absolutely do. And one of the things that I think we need to do is, let's say you go to a game, you're going to a football game, Cardinals are playing, and you've got some obnoxious people behind you. And you can send a text message and they get taken care of. What I'd like to see is that eventually down the line, maybe it's next year, maybe it's a couple of years, that we have that on our transit system so that our passengers feel more safe and we provide that better service for them.
That's a good idea.
I think so too.
Yeah, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ted.
Wednesday on Arizona Horizon, it's our Veterans Day special. Hear about a veterans group that was ignored or mistreated because of the color of their skin, and find out about local efforts to help homeless vets. That's at 5:30 and 10 on the next Arizona Horizon. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening. Don't forget.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.